Well, and a pleasant good morning to you. I am 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Rich Fields. Time for your Tampa Bay beach and boating report. My goodness, I'm actually on time. I can't believe it. If you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, welcome. If you are on Facebook and you're logging in, let me know what cities you're in. Not just that you're watching. And if you have any questions, weather story questions, by all means let me know. And at the end here, once I give a brief synopsis of today's weather, I'll try to answer any weather questions we have for you. Let me pull that up real quick just so I can see. Okay. Just had breakfast. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to our live shots, our Sky 10 network. Beautiful, beautiful morning here in the Tampa Bay area. Boy, driving in, massive full moon, big hunter's moon today, this morning. Looked like sunrise, but it was so early, it was 4 or 5 in the morning. So I knew it wasn't sunrise. But there's our live shots in and around the Tampa Bay area. There's downtown Tampa. A little bit of haze. Cloud cover down to our south. We're going to see more cloud cover start picking up from the south over the course of the next couple of days as the tropical flow of moisture really starts to pick up for us. And some of it certainly is from Hurricane Julian, pushing up moisture into Florida. There's the Bellwether Beach Resort camera looking south over St. Pete Beach. Just gorgeous, really inviting. The Happy Theater camera looking out over Tampa Bay. Got a big ship out there in the distance. Oh, a sailboat in the foreground too. Very nice. Barely a cloud in the sky. Raymond James Stadium. Site of the Bucks game today at 1 o'clock. Should be really nice. About 85 degrees at 1 o'clock. Maybe an errant cloud here and there. There's the downtown camera, or the Armature Works camera looking at downtown. Really nice out today. Just beautiful. 73 degrees currently in downtown Tampa. Feels like 73. Why? Because the dew points are so low. 60-degree dew points. That's just nuts. And believe it or not, over the course of the next couple of days, we're going to see the dew points do a real roller coaster. We're going to go from mid-60-degree dew points. We're going to skyrocket into the mid-70s, so it's going to get hot and sweaty again here in the Tampa Bay area. And then a cold front moves through Friday into Saturday. Looks like overnight Friday, really. And the dew points are going to plummet into the 50s. And when that happens, woo! Could this be it? Could this be the cold front that keeps us into winter? It would be awesome if it was. It would be awesome if it was. Okay, there's the satellite and radar. I'll go full screen on that for you so you can see what's going on. A little bit of moisture starting to push up from the south. You can see the cloud cover start to push in as well. It's going a little closer to the Tampa Bay area. And take a look at things. Not a big deal, at least through today and even early tomorrow morning. Not a big deal. Let's go through Futurecast. We'll start here at 9:30. There's about 1 o'clock. That's Tampa Bay Buck time. Stadium's right here, so you can see how clear we're going to be. Okay. Back into motion. A little bit of cloud cover. That's 5 o'clock now. Tampa Stadium. So it's the drive home. Still nice. Into early tomorrow morning. Few clouds. Kids are getting on the bus. 7 a.m. upper right-hand corner of your screen. Not a big deal. Noon. A little bit of cloud cover again. 85 by about noon tomorrow. I think it's going to be warmer than that, actually. More like 89 tomorrow. Monday, 5 p.m. This is the drive home. A little bit of cloud cover. That's about it. All right, let's talk about the beaches. Rip current potential on the Gulf side. We are low, 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 low all along the Gulf. High through the Miami-Dade area from West Palm all the way down. And moderate from West Palm northward all the way up through Jacksonville. But really we're most concerned with what's going on here on the Gulf side through today, and that's what the forecast is for. Beach forecast for the Gulf of Mexico and the Pinellas County beaches. Looking for a daytime high today at about 83, 84-ish. Lots of sunshine. It's going to be a picture-perfect day out at the beach. So let's go through some of the beach forecast. 87 at Venice Beach today. Very slight chance of a scattered shower down there. They're a little further south than our viewing area up here I should say a little further south than the downtown Tampa Bay area, so very slight chance of rain moving into the forecast. Siesta Key, even less of a chance of rain today. 88 for the daytime high today, that water temperature at about 77 degrees. St. Pete Beach, lots of sunshine today. Going to be very nice. 86 for the daytime high. A little further to the north, Clearwater Beach, 85 today for the daytime high with all kinds of sunshine. UV index an 8 or higher. And here's our forecast wind speeds for now. Just take note of the wind barbs. Everything coming out of the, oops, didn't mean to move that, sorry. Everything coming out of the north and east, blowing across the state and out into the Gulf. We've got sustained winds at Clearwater Beach right now at 11 miles an hour and gusts to 15. St. Pete, 14 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts at 17, and then inland, single-digit sustained winds and gusts at about 15. Up toward the Nature Coast, Citrus County, single-digit sustained winds and gusts at 13 miles an hour right now. We'll fast forward to later in the day. There's 2 o'clock this afternoon. The flow is still out of the north and east. Sustained winds pick up to double digits in a lot of places, certainly along the coast, even out in the Sebring. And gusts still not that bad. 12 to 13 mile an hour gusts, so not a big deal. Here's your marine forecast. Oh, we got the Clearwater Beach camera back. Yay. It didn't work all morning. For boaters, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 feet or less, bay and inland waters at a moderate chop. Going to be nice out on the water today. And here are the upcoming tides. Pass Grill. Your next tide will be a high tide at 1:15 this afternoon. St. Petersburg, this is on the bay side. Not the Gulf side, but the Tampa Bay side. High tide at St. Pete Pier. Actually, this is taken just south of the St. Pete Pier by the Coast Guard station there. 2:49 this afternoon, high tide for Tampa Bay. And Johns Pass on the Gulf side. High tide coming up at 12:35. Clearwater Beach, high tide at 12:11. Crystal River, low tide this morning coming up at 11:11. So here's your overall 7-day forecast for the Tampa Bay area. Mostly sunny, warm, 89 for the daytime high today. Very much like today again for tomorrow, 89. Maybe a little more cloud cover, and we're just putting in a hint of rain for Monday, Tuesday. Look what happens by Wednesday. Rain chances really start to go up Wednesday and Thursday. 84, 85 degrees. Let me show you something else. Let me get out of this graphic here real quick. I'll come out live. I'm just looking for some graphics here to show you. I'm looking at folks chiming in. Tropics. They want to know about Hurricane Julia, huh? Let me get to that in here in a second. I'm looking for a particular graphic to show you what's going to happen in the next coming couple of days here with regard to moisture content. Here it is. This is our atmospheric moisture, precipitable water values. Check it out. So what you see on your screen, browns and yellows, dry air. The drier, the darker the brown is. Moist air or rainfall in green, the darker the green, the more moisture. So this is all coming up from the tropics as I step forward in time. Obviously today we're still very dry for Sunday. Monday, a little bit of moisture starts moving into the area, starts to prime the atmosphere just a little bit. So that's why we're only keeping just a very trace amount, 20% chance for Monday and Tuesday in the forecast. By Wednesday, look at the moisture really start to pick up. And then by Wednesday into Thursday, we're still under that influence of all that moisture. And then look what comes our way. This is Friday right there. That's Friday right there. And we here in Tampa Bay, we are right on the cusp of that front. The front will start pushing through, I think, late Friday into Saturday. Let me advance this one more day. And look what happens. Boom. By Saturday, okay, now we're entrenched in dry air as the front has moved through. So that's how we can tell what's going on with dew points and our rainfall levels here in the Tampa Bay area. And speaking of dew points, let me just show you this real quick. We're We're at about a 63 degree dew point, 64 degree dew point right now, which is fairly dry. I mean, if you look at the scale, the legend next to it, 60 to 64, still a little sticky. I wouldn't say sweaty, but certainly, you know there's humidity, but not a whole lot. When it gets into the 50s, that's when it's real pleasant. But when it's in the mid-70s, that yellow area there, which is where we're going to be, check this out. Check out this graphic. So 64 degree dew point today. Monday, 65 degree dew point. Look at Tuesday. That moisture starts moving up from the south, that tropical flow of moisture, 70 degree dew point. Wednesday and Thursday, we're talking low to mid 70 degree dew points. So it's almost like back to summertime, that quick, with daytime highs 89 to 90 with all that moisture. So it's going to feel like summer. And then all of a sudden, that front moves through Friday night to Saturday. Look how the dew points plummet. I'll go full screen for you. Look how the dew points plummet. Wham! 54, 55 degree dew points starting Saturday and Sunday. Come on, cold front. Come on, dry air. We got so spoiled after Ian. It was so dry here in Florida that it felt a lot like fall with low dew points. Even with an 83, 85 degree temperature, boy, it feels so nice and cool. So we're hoping, at least I am, that this might be the one that gives us the final cool off. I asked Bobby Deskins about this, our chief meteorologist, some months ago. I said, hey, Bobby, when is it that one big cold front comes through and it kind of sticks for the rest of the winter? And he said November. Then he laughed, so I don't know if he was serious about that or not. But, we're coming into, what's today's date, for crying out loud? October what? 9th? Still early. Under the Bobby Deskins graphic. Let's see here. Oh, tropics. Somebody asked about tropics. Let me look real quick, see if there's any other weather questions here real quick. I'll show you tropics in a second. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. A lot of people. Lake Placid, Robin Bullardick, Lake Placid, Florida. Joy Filsinger, Lisa Chazen, Victoria Granados, or Victor Granados. I'm sorry, Victor. Judy, Sharon, Gary Perkins, Cicero, Indiana, with a home in North Fort Myers. Have you checked on it? Gary, have you checked on your home? Do you have cameras down there you can look in on, or maybe a neighbor? It's like a bomb went off down there. It's just incredible. The devastation is just incredible. Let's see. Gwendolyn Fisher. Gary says it looks like a beautiful morning. It is really nice here today. Really nice. Still going to be dry today. Lots of sunshine for the Bucks game. It's going to be beautiful. Hoping to beat the Falcons today. I'm looking for weather questions. I just don't see. Larry Ward, Juanito Toys. Gosh, a lot of people chiming in. Oh my gosh, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I could scroll through this for days looking at names. But I'm looking for weather questions. There was one weather question about the tropics, so let me get to that real quick before I sign off and leave you. Let's see, tropics. All right. Evan Klosky, making noise back there. All right, so let's look at the tropics real quick. We are your hurricane headquarters here at 10 Tampa Bay, and we appreciate you watching us and putting your faith and trust in us. We'll always keep you informed, prepared, and connected. All right, so here's what's going on. There's a look at the basin, the Atlantic Basin out here. And where we have had storm after storm after storm lining up coming off of West Africa, the only thing we see right now is this particular tropical wave right there. Unorganized at best. But earlier this morning there was nothing here. And now there is. So we're certainly going to keep our eye on that. It's getting late in the season, but it's not too late. The last day of hurricane season is November 30th, so we're going to be under, hurricane watch, so to speak, until then. Let me go full screen and see what's going on. There's Hurricane Julia. Hit Nicaragua this morning as a Cat 1 hurricane. 85 mile an hour sustained winds. Let's go a little closer and take a look at the particulars on Julia right now. She's going over land, so she's starting to weaken just a bit. At 85 earlier this morning, she's now at 75 mile an hour sustained winds. Barely a hurricane. It takes 74 mile an hour sustained winds to be a hurricane. Movement is west at 16 miles an hour. Central pressure has come up a little bit since earlier this morning. It was 981, I believe, earlier this morning when I got here at 5 o'clock. So the track of, oh, nice shot of the water vapor loop. Look at that, man. The purples, that's all water being dumped on Nicaragua. Anywhere from 5 to 12 inches of rain, a foot of rain expected. This is very mountainous terrain, too, all the way through these countries. Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, very mountainous terrain. So we're talking about the possibility of flash flooding, certainly, and mudslides. Not what these folks need. So we expect the track of Julia to hold together and continue to the west and actually enter the Pacific Ocean after it exits Nicaragua, Honduras. And you can see the tropical alerts up. Certainly, we're talking about hurricane warnings that were posted and hurricane watches posted for the eastern coast of Nicaragua. She's now made landfall. There's Julia there. But now they're posting tropical storm warnings for El Salvador and Guatemala, as Julia is expected to continue this track, exit out into the Pacific Ocean, and affect the southern coastlines of all these countries right here, and then eventually Mexico, and possibly retain tropical storm status, maybe not a hurricane, but retain tropical storm status as it exits out, traverses Mexico, and moves northward, getting into colder water. And there's some of the timing for you with the cone of uncertainty. Category 1 hurricane right now. Soon to be a tropical storm. She's losing her punch. Remember I mentioned 75 mile an hour wind speeds. And then we'll exit out as a tropical storm and eventually just a post-tropical low. Don't expect any more in the Atlantic Ocean, but if we do, the next storm on the list is obviously the letter K, Carl. So there you go. That's the tropics. I hope I answered your question. I can't remember who asked it, but there you go, nonetheless. See if there's any more questions before I sign off here. And somebody asked about my beauty shot, my ending shot that I always show you guys. You're talking about this one right here. Bam. Nice, huh? I'd like to say that's right outside our television station doors, but it's not. We are on the water. We're on Tampa Bay, though. This is the Gulf side. Mark Knight's watching. Joanne Norman's watching. Mary Garcia. Daniel Connor. Heather Ringel. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate that very much. While I can, and I have your attention, possibly, I want to remind you that tomorrow is podcast day for me. My podcast, it's a video podcast. You can get it on audio podcast providers as well. It's called Come On Down with Rich Fields. Me and co-host Dave Anchor are going to welcome somebody that everyone knows because he wasn't just in game shows. He used to do the daytime version of Wheel of Fortune and a bunch of other game shows, but you probably best know him as the co-anchor of Entertainment Tonight. I'm talking about Bob Goen. Bob's sporting a goatee now and a mustache, and he also hosts the live version of The Price is Right. He has hosted the live version of Family Feud. And if you have questions for Bob, you can go to our dedicated Facebook page, facebook.com/comeondownpodcast. Find either of the two entries with Bob Goen's picture there, and you can put your questions in for Bob. So again, this all happens tomorrow, live, on the 10 Tampa Bay YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in the number 10 Tampa Bay, and you will find it. you cannot get it live on the podcast providers. You can only get it live on YouTube. But after the show's over, it's automatically posted to the universe, and you can get it on audio versions, podcast providers, whatever your favorite podcast provider is. So there you go. I will let you go. I know you got things to do, and so do I, but I appreciate you watching today. Our next newscast comes up at 6 o'clock tonight if football doesn't go long. If not, then it's 11 o'clock. But we're always online. You can get all this information anytime, 24/7 at 10tampabay.com. And until next time, I will see you on TV.